What's up, everybody, and welcome to Who Got Next, your weekly podcast bringing you all the news and reviews for the best brand going, NXT, and now, of course, the return of NXT UK. If it's your first time listening, welcome. We do the show every Friday on the Rant with Ant feed, so make sure you subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and, of course, everybody's favorite, your mom's phone. And newly, we are now on youtube.com. Search for Rant with Ant. You will find our show weekly for free for anybody who doesn't want to listen on podcast form and wants to actually see this video, see me and MJ live. But now let me introduce my co-host, even though I already kind of introduced her and you guys can see her in the screen. My name is Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium. I'm wearing a Bianca Belair shirt because that's my girl, even though she wasn't on this week's episode. But we'll talk about that later. Maybe we won't. I don't know, because she wasn't on the episode. And my co-host, the Queen of Shade, E's Star of the Month, Ricochet's #1 fan, and the winner of Bella Brains again this week, MJ Santi. What's up, MJ?
I feel like it's kind of like turning into like a Daenerys type of thing where her name ends up getting more things added like every time. And then it's so long. And since you pointed out your shirt, I'm going to point out my John Adams High sweatshirt.
I was going to ask you what it is. It's from Boy Meets World.
Yeah, of course.
Girl Meets World is better.
Okay, what lasted 7 seasons and what lasted like what, 2?
Let's be honest with each other, okay? Let's be honest with each other. If Boy Meets World was out now, it would have got canceled after one season.
Boy Meets World is timeless, and everybody still loves that show. And don't ever say that Girl Meets World is better, because you will not win this.
Listen, I don't actually think Girl Meets World is better, okay? I just like fucking annoying you. But if Boy Meets World was around now, no matter how good the show is, it would get canceled, and then it would end up on Netflix 2 years later, and then get like 8 seasons. It
would do amazing.
The only show that works on TV is Grey's Anatomy, because that has 47 seasons, and Law and Order SVU. Every other show gets canceled.
Look at Big Bang Theory.
Well, 3 shows, okay? Big Bang Theory, SVU, Monday Night Raw.
I mean, the average per show is like 4 or 5 seasons. So there's been shows that have had like 4 or 5 seasons.
Is that what Boy Meets World is?
No, 7.
You know what's weird? Growing up, I wasn't into Topanga like everybody else.
Really?
Yeah, but now, she's so hot now.
I wanted to be her. I had a crush on Sean, but then Jack came into my life, and man.
Was Jack the professor?
You're making me rethink doing the show with you.
Who's
Jack? Is Sean's half brother.
I don't remember that.
Hello, Sean moves in with him. Like, Sean's dad makes him move in with him so he gets some of that college stuff, and then they live together, and they have this, like, their relationship grows.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Oh, my God.
The only thing I remember is when they were little kids, and then when they were older, the only thing I remember is when Corey, I think, threw the professor through the window for hitting on Topanga, or, like, beat him up or something.
He pushed him through the door, and
that's
his real life brother.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying.
That was a great episode.
That's Fred Savage, right? Or is Fred Savage Corey?
Oh, here's a great picture. Ready? Oh,
yep. This is actually he's ripped.
That's Matt Lawrence.
My favorite part of that is on my screen, I saw the abs, right? But my face was like in the background of the abs. So it was like my face was the abs. That's great, man. Great content. Now, if you guys want more of this great content, of course, there's 3 ways you guys can support us. One is head on over to Twitter and follow the show at WhoGotNextPod. Second way, represent.com/store/rant with Ant, where you find all of our Who Got Next merchandise. MJ's got a few shirts up there, with one most likely coming soon. I
need a Queen of Shade shirt.
You definitely need a Queen of Shade shirt. I have shirts up there that no one's buying, but I mean, besides MJ, but that's besides the point. We just released 2 shirts. The Rant Core 4 shirt. Go to 4s up. Right? And Issa's new BDE shirt. Make sure you guys go check that out. And of course, the final way is patreon.com/who-got-next. $1 gets you into our Patreon chat that we talk all through NXT episodes. We did it tonight because, of course, we were recording this right after NXT on Wednesday night. It was a great time. Shout out to Brett and Jermaine who were chatting it up the whole episode with us. It was a good time. Now, so let's just we're not going to waste any time, right? Let's just jump right into some news. Now, there isn't really news this week. One is at NXT news. The other two is more about us. But so the first one is Kushida debuts next week against Cassius Ohno, which, we were talking about in our Patreon chat is really funny because Cassius Ohno is basically just the doormat. Shout out to Brett, the doormat of everybody who wants to debut. He's the main event jobber, as I like to call him, which honestly, it sucks because he's been doing really good in NXT UK. Surprise, surprise. I've enjoyed the matches that he's had there. He's working a more physical style, and those UK guys are really bringing it to him, right? And, he won some, he's lost some. It's the weird thing to me is to see him kind of go back, and we all know Kushida's not losing his first match. Now, what do you think about Ono coming back to fight Kushida?
I just think, I don't know. I think it's dumb to bring him back. Like, oh, by the way, can you come back real quick so you can just job to another wrestler that's debuting? Like, I don't really... Like, they have other people they can use. So I don't get why they need to bring him back for it, Like, let him do his thing in NXT UK, and then, like, find somebody else that's not doing anything in NXT.
Or, listen, you have, like... And Kushida's a smaller guy. For anybody who hasn't watched Kushida, he was a super junior in New Japan, which is basically like... He was a cruiserweight, right? So there's an entire roster of cruiserweights who aren't doing anything. Just have them come to Full Sail one week. I mean, we saw Humberto Carrillo for some reason fight Jackson Riker tonight. We saw it to get murdered, but he could have fought Kushida. You could have had Tozawa fight Kushida, or really anybody from the 205 roster that isn't doing anything to just kind of put this guy over, because all Ono's going to do is put him over. But either way, I'm really looking forward to this match. And of course, like we've been saying since he got signed, if you guys have never seen Kushida in a match, you are in for something special. MJ is in for something special because I know she hasn't seen Kushida in a match. He's really fun. He's really, really a fun wrestler. And I definitely do hope by some miracle, they're able to keep his Back to the Future-like gimmick that he was running in New Japan, because that shit is really fun. So now the other two little items of news that we have to talk about is one I mentioned in the beginning of the show. MJ won Bella Brains this week. So what are you at? 4-1 now?
No, I think this is like a third win. Then we tied one.
Yeah, so we counted it as a win to not get crazy. So like you're 4-1 and I'm 2 and whatever. What's math? 2 and 3? 2 and 3. I'm 2 and 3 and you're 4-1. These questions, see, here's the thing. Daniel Bryan is supposed to be asking the Bella Twins and me and MJ right? He's supposed to be asking
he just doesn't know he's asking us.
That a 5th grader will know. And they're hard.
But the thing is, too, even if it's like questions for like the 5th grader, a 5th grader is actively learning this stuff, whereas like you're asking adults that haven't like done this stuff in years. So
listen, the funniest part of the whole thing, and me and MJ were talking about this today, is one of the questions was, what is our galaxy? Like, what's the name of our galaxy? And Daniel Bryan was like, here's a hint, it's a candy bar. And both Brie and Nikki's first guess was Mars, which I thought was so funny that they both thought that our galaxy was called the Mars Galaxy, which was fun. And then Brie goes on this like crazy tangent of like Twix, Snickers. It's like, no, Brie, shit. I love that podcast so much. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Poor Brie. Not the smartest.
Brie. Yeah, she's not the smartest at all. I mean, clearly neither am I, because I'm terrible at it.
Honestly, I'm shocked that I remembered like some of the answers to these questions. So like the Planet one. It's a rough time.
And I don't cheat, man. I'm honest. Okay, I could cheat and be like, I got them all right. But listen, I didn't. Okay, I only got 2 right this week. It was a struggle. I knew MJ was gonna win, but it's a struggle. Now the second news is I won something. Okay, so last week we gave you guys our match.
This barely counts.
No, it doesn't matter. We gave you our match of the week. Okay, mine was Velveteen Dream versus Buddy Murphy, and we put the poll up on our Twitter, and I won. So congratulations to me. Thank you for
Congrats,
clapping.
because like nobody really watches NXT UK.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I still won. Okay, I still won this week. Thank you very much. Stop hating.
I have more brains, so
stop hating. Start participating and clapping for me. Woo! And for the record, this isn't in the notes, but for everybody who got to see Avengers last night, because of course this episode is airing on Friday. Yeah, buddy, I'm one of those. Yeah, buddy. Congrats. Ooh, so here's the thing, right? And MJ, I'm sorry, because I know you're not going to see it opening weekend.
I'm seeing it on Saturday. I bought my ticket.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so now I can say this with confidence. For everybody listening to this show and watching us on YouTube, spoiler culture dictates that Monday morning, if you have not seen this movie, I am spoiling it on my social media. I'm not waiting for you. I'm not waiting for you.
No.
I'm not waiting for you in the back. I'm not waiting for your mother, your brother, your sister, your father. You have opening weekend.
The Avengers, they're tweeting. Yeah. Don't spoil the Avengers.
Yeah.
Give it a couple, weekend. Like a week or two.
No. You get till Monday morning. Monday morning, because here's my reason why.
There's parents that can't make it to the movie.
Then guess what, parents?
It's not 18.
Guess what, parents? Guess what, parents? No, guess what, parents? You can mute all Endgame thing. I'm not gonna just make it like, hey, so and so died. I will hashtag Endgame. I will say Avengers. So if you mute those words, you won't see it. You won't hear it. I will be posting GIFs. I will be posting pictures. I will be in dab breaks. It's gonna be a great time. Monday morning. That's the way Phil works, baby. That's better than my Game of Thrones policy. My Game of Thrones policy is at 10 o'clock when the episode ends. Spoilers go up. When my hands go up, spoilers come down. Lit. Dab break.
Oh, I know you think that was clever, but it
wasn't. Oh my God.
I hate you.
Me, man. Jesus Christ. You're supposed to be my Zelina, and I'm supposed to be Andrade, and you out here just shitting on my life. Forcing me to lose matches.
You're trying to be a douchebag, and you're trying to spoil the Avengers for people.
Spoiler culture, okay? Did I ever tell you the story about how one of my closest friends, my best friend, the guy who's marrying me at my wedding, how he fucks with people with spoilers?
No.
Okay, so before we get into NXT and NXT UK, here's a fun story, okay? So me and my friend, my boy Ray, we have this mutual friend called Mike. And he is one of those people who does not have HBO Go or Now or fucking Stay, Wait, whatever the fuck the app is called, right? He doesn't have any of it. He doesn't have a broken Fire Stick. He doesn't have any of these things. He watches all his stuff off torrents like a week later. So he's always super far behind on Game of Thrones. And this is back, it's a couple seasons ago where, people actually still use Facebook. So he would always be like, you guys spoil the show for us. And we're like, we talk about it like a week after it's come out. Like, if you're not watching it the night of, we're not waiting for you. Like, we're going to talk about it in the open. So he used to bitch and moan. So one episode, and here's the reason why I'm telling the story, because if you think I'm bad with spoilers. So he was pissing us off. So my boy Ray goes on Facebook, right? At him, at Mike. He goes, just to let you know, 5 minutes in the episode, this happened. He literally lists the whole episode by minutes. And then he goes, and if you're mad about that, you should have watched it live. And you know what I did? I shared it.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Great.
You know how scary it is? You know how scary it is for me? My boy Ray does not care about spoilers. He's already read the script because the script is online. And he knows everything that happens. So I have to be on my best behavior for him because he will spoil the movie for me.
Well, I hate people that spoil things. You're just an ass. It's just like, it's just not needed. We can't
wait forever to talk about the highly anticipated movie of the year, okay? Like, for example, it took me 2.5 hours to get tickets, and I was super frustrated, and I gave up at one point, okay? And you know what I said to myself? Fuck it. I'm not going opening weekend, and if it gets spoiled for me, it does. I was literally going to look up spoilers, like, when I didn't have the tickets.
Yeah, but you you don't mind spoilers. You look up NXT spoilers every week, so don't even.
You know what's funny to kind of bring it back to NXT? So of course, during tonight's episode, Candace had a mystery partner, and I forgot who it was when I read the spoilers, so I looked up the spoilers again today.
You're so desperate. Like, just wait a few hours.
When it comes to wrestling, if it's taped, I need to know. I need to know what I'm getting myself into.
Well, you're going to know when you watch it.
Yeah, but like I need to know what I'm getting myself into with wrestling. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
You're the worst. You're the worst.
Yeah, I am. So now with all of that, let's finally get into some NXT coverage for episode 503 of NXT and episode 40 of NXT UK. Now let's start with NXT first. And what a fantastic episode. I feel like the talent, and we've always said this, the talent is still here with the ability to have these great episodes like they did tonight. But it was cool to see some new faces, to see some new promos. We got to see Mia Yim do a backstage promo. I know you were super hype about that. What'd you think of that?
I'm excited for it because honestly, like, I'm ready for a new feud for Shayna. And I think Mia Yim is the perfect person for it, especially, they say friends work well together and they're roommates. So I think that a feud between those two is going to be, I think it's going to be one of the better feuds for Shayna.
They're going to kick the shit out of each other, right? Because not only
they are
make for better opponents, but they have a lot stiffer matches and they're going to fuck each other up. And it's going to be so much fun to watch. And I think that, with this kind of like tough, badass character that Mia Yim has, it'll be cool to see her kind of go against this 4 horsewomen like pack mentality thing that they got going on with Shayna and Jessamine and Marina. And now that Rousey's gone for, a year, 2 years, I don't know. She was very vague in her YouTube video when she was talking about it. We don't know if we're ever going to get the 4. Oh, and now since Sasha is off crying somewhere, we don't know if we're ever going to get the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen match. So it's one of those things where maybe this is all we get is Shayna, Jessamine, and Marina, but I really do enjoy what they're doing. And they had this segment where they beat the hell out of Io Shirai tonight. I do think, so here's a question for you. Do you think Io or Mia Yim is more likely to take the belt off of Shayna at this point?
I don't know. I can see them going with Io, but I hope it's Mia. Like, Io's had her chance,
Yeah,
I don't know. It was only like once, but
yeah, I can see them going with Io just because they have the built-in story with Kari, and she's like defending her friend's honor and all that stuff like that. And like we've seen before, NXT has no problems with putting that belt on a Japanese woman to because they're great wrestlers over there. Even though all their promo abilities struggle. But listen, Io, shout out to Brett. He was like, Io Shirai's been here for 3 months and her English is already better than Asuka. And I was like, you're a good man. You're a good man, Brett. That popped me. I think that would be pretty cool. Now, the one thing with Mia Yim is because I think when Shayna loses that belt, she goes up immediately. I think Monday Night Raw needs her because there's a lot of pieces that are missing from the women's division on Raw, with Nia being hurt, Sasha being out somewhere crying, and
I'm sorry, are those two like something special for Raw? Nope. I don't think so.
But here's the thing though, right? It's not that they're special. I think they are, but there's less women on Raw. And Becky, all right, Becky's gonna get through
Raw never really used their women anyway.
I know, but
they used like 2 at a time.
Becky to fight. You know what I mean? Like it's a year. Like Rousey and Nia are out both for at least a year, right? Especially Nia. Yeah. And we don't know if Sasha's ever coming back. So like Becky will fight Lacey, Becky will fight Alexa, and then who's she fighting after that? Ruby, and then.
I mean, I think it's a great time to build up the other women in their roster. I mean, make longer feuds. I mean, Naomi's on Raw.
Yeah, but listen, as much as we love Naomi, we know they're not going to use Naomi.
You never know.
They didn't use her when she was on SmackDown. Why would they use her when she's on Raw?
I mean, they did for a bit. She was the champ.
Yeah, but not against Becky. And Becky's a face. Naomi's a super face. Like, they're not going to feud. And Naomi looks like she's in a feud with the Iconics right now. So, and she has a mystery partner. I don't know who it's going to be. Tamina. It's going to be Tamina. Face turn. Team Bad. Coming back.
Ugh, I hated that team.
Team Bad.
Awful.
Coming back. Oh, that sucks. I just ordered you that shirt. It should be coming to your house soon. Damn, man. Merry Christmas early. Jesus.
Well, that's okay. If I want to have a bonfire, I have something to use.
Yo, I burned a shirt once. Let me tell you something. It's not a good smell. We had a bonfire, and this kid that I used to work at Nike with, he had like a plain black shirt and had the swoosh on it, right?
Yeah.
And for people listening, it's not a check. All right. I was at Nike for 3 years. It's a swoosh. So it had the black swoosh on it, and it started, look at my hands. It started right here in the middle of my chest. And by the time he watched it so many times, it was like up by his neck. And we were like, bro, you gotta throw that shit out. He was like, nah, it's always been like that. We're like, nah, it wasn't always like that. Okay, you just watched it too many times and it got messed up. But yeah, so that was a weird tangent to go on. But so what else happened tonight? Now we had some
all over the place today.
Incredible matches, right? First we had well, we're not even gonna talk about the Jackson Riker match because who gives a shit. But we had, to me, the real first match.
Humberto let him get a little shout out. Like, he carried what we saw of whatever match they had. I don't think that he deserved to get fed to whatever the hell that guy's name is.
Jackson Riker. Or
give him, he deserves the respect. The other guy doesn't.
I agree. I mean, Creel did it as much as he could, but Riker is terrible. He looks like $1,000,000, but God, is he fucking the worst. So the one match that was really the first match for me was the Vision, Vanessa Bourne, and Aaliyah. They have a new tag team name. They were talking about it on social media, but I forgot what it was.
Really?
Yeah, they started calling themselves something on social media.
Oh, they were calling him Bourne and Bushi.
No, that's what Morrow was calling them.
Well, isn't that like their name?
No. I think that was just like a nickname he gave them. They have like an actual, or something that they were tweeting. Maybe they were just messing around. I don't know. But like that came from like Aaliyah's Twitter. She called them something, and then Vanessa called them whatever. But they were facing against Candice and a surprise partner, which was shock to all of us, not me because I read the spoilers. Casey Catanzaro, and she actually got some offense in this match, so I was really excited about it. What did you think of this match?
I was excited to see that it was her because I knew that she would actually get like a match, because I don't think she's really gotten much on NeXT TV. She did kind of in NXT UK, and she was kind of sizing up with people that are like closer to her height, not her trying to fight some bigger person and just there to do moves and then get destroyed. So I was excited to see them work together. I thought that her and Candice are a good fit. So yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Two things I want to mention. Casey's moves are just so good. I just it's unreal to me how good she's been, and she hasn't been doing this for so long. She has an understanding of what the babyface character is supposed to do, and they've given her some, two really creative moves. She did like that front flip drop down kick or like leg drop or whatever that she did, which was pretty cool. And then she has, her signature move, which is like the handstand to like a head scissors, which I think is awesome. It's so cool. Yeah. And it looks great when she does it, right? Now the one thing I do want to mention is, so Candice LeRae, I don't know if this was always been the name of her finisher, but I've noticed it for the first time tonight. Her finisher is called the Hip Hip LeRae. And let me tell you something. I'm a huge fan of that. Did you not notice that?
I did not notice that. No, not
when
at
she
all.
hit that like lion salt, right? Because that's her finisher, is like the lion salt.
Yeah.
Morrow, when Candice hits the Hip Hip LeRae, and I was like, that is fantastic. And if that's not the name of her finisher, that should be the name of her finisher, because Morrow said it and it sounded great. It's hilarious. It goes with her character. It's so hype. And for all the people who watch wrestling outside of WWE, even though we knew it wasn't going to be him, didn't you all watch that and be like, damn, what if it's Joey Ryan? Because I was like, what if it's Joey Ryan? That'd be pretty cool. You know that, right? You know Joey Ryan and Candice were the world's cutest tag team?
Yeah, I know. But
if me and you were a tag team, we'd be the world's sassiest tag team.
Okay.
Wow, fuck me. Sorry. Sorry, I want to be a tag team. No, never mind. I'll see myself out.
They're sassy.
I don't know. What am I going to say? The world's most annoying tag team.
Speak for yourself.
I said sassy. I try to give us a little bit of credit, but you turned on me.
I don't know.
You turned on me like Kevin Owens turned on a New Day. How dare you?
I didn't see that live, but I saw.
How dare you? I almost saw it live, but I fell asleep. I have this thing of like, I can make it to the end of WWE shows. If they're more than an hour, I can make it to like the last half an hour and I fall asleep. I was like, man, this SmackDown is so great, and it's 9:30 on the East Coast, and I was like, Just knocked out. Just knocked out.
I
Brittany's
think I
waking
was
me up.
watching The Office instead.
It's not a bad choice. I kind of want to go through and watch it again, which is funny because Brittany
What
gave me
we've
so
been
much
doing.
shit for years because I would not watch The Office. I didn't want to believe the hype, but then I started watching it and I was like, pretty goddamn good show.
I gave Frankie shit forever for watching it, and
What are you
like I
saying about
never
him?
want to
He's an
watch it.
angel. We know he's an angel, and we
Let's
know he can do
let's
no
not
wrong.
go there.
He
Let's
can
not go with
do
your
no
obsession
wrong.
with him.
He's an angel.
Whatever. I started watching it because of him, and
Angel.
we're on season like 7 or 8, so we're almost done.
Tell Frankie I said that if the Celtics somehow make it to the finals, Damian Lillard is coming for that ass. Tell him I said that. Tell him with love. Feeling him. Like that, just like that. Please and thank you.
I'll let him watch our show on YouTube and he'll see it for himself.
Okay. now we move on to the next match, and it was the War Raiders, not the Viking Experience, not the Viking Raiders, not the Raider Experience, not the Experience War. Okay, the War Raiders. Which, like, people were saying, like, you change their name, but their chant is still war, 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 which makes no sense now if they don't have war in their name. Why would you give it to them if you knew that, the board wasn't gonna like the word war in your name? It doesn't make
which
it.
you
It's like
were so confident it was Raider, but I knew it was war.
I was wrong. Listen, I can't win Bella Brains. I can't win arguments with MJ. This is just my life, okay? My life is, I'm destined to be the Brie Bella of this partnership, okay? Destined to be me. This whole time I thought it was her. I thought it was MJ because she kind of acts like her, except the drinking part. And listen, talking to you these last couple of months, and then getting to talk to Brie at Access, you're the same person, except you're not an alcoholic. You don't tap into MJ mode and start fucking losing it.
No, I haven't really like drank in like years.
Yeah, me either. Alcohol is not cool, guys. Okay, it's not cool. That's a lie. I drank during Mania weekend. I had two.
You did. That makes sense.
Pints of Guinness. Yeah, 2 pints of Guinness, like a true Irish.
I was going to get a Game of Thrones wine, but there was no wine in the store that I went to. There was a beer, and then plus when Frankie got it, I was already on my painkiller. So.
Okay. Well, so the thing is. And of course, she got her wisdom teeth taken out. Don't let her try to guilt trip you guys into feeling bad for her surgery. Oh my God!
Well, it was quicker than saying I got my wisdom teeth removed. But like
but you said surgery. People are gonna be
because they put me under.
DM, like, are you single? What is your name? And are you okay?
Well, I said surgery put me under. Like I was not. So yeah.
Listen, the one thing I do want to say is I delivered to a supermarket called the Chiquios in Brewster, and they have Game of Thrones wine, like a whole big setup for Game of Thrones, right? It's where I got the Oreo cookies for Brittany and my boy Ray. And I look at the wine every day, and I don't drink, but Brittany loves wine. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should get this wine for her. But then I realized I'm pretty sure I can't buy alcohol and leave it in the truck while I'm working all day. I'm pretty sure I'd get in trouble.
Probably would. Yeah, I got the Game of Thrones wine the last time, but I didn't really like it that much.
See, I don't.
But I wanted to see.
Yeah, but I don't know. So the funny thing is, I want to ask you this question live on air. So you're planning on going to Money in the Bank, right?
That's still in the plans.
Okay. Do you know that's also the night of the Game of Thrones series finale?
Well, guess I'm not going to Money in the Bank.
Yo, I said the same thing. I have people reaching out to me like, yo, you going to Money in the Bank? And I was like, wait, when is it? They're like May 19th. And I'm like, that's the Game of Thrones finale. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? That means I ain't going. And listen, I've never been to a Money in the Bank, just like MJ. I want to see in a Money in the Bank live. I want to go so bad. We got Seth versus AJ. It's going to be an incredible match. Yeah. Kevin Owens versus Kofi. Money in the Bank matches. Roman versus Elias will be fun. Like, it's going to be awesome. But Game of Thrones comes first, man. Series finale. You can't pass that up.
Game of Thrones over that, especially the series finale. Get the hell out of here!
And for anybody who's listening, if you are in the Houston, Texas area, and you will be at Comic Palooza the weekend of Mother's Day, I will be there on May 12th. I almost said March 12th. May 12th, Mother's Day, meeting the Mother of Dragons. Now I'm gonna keep saying it because I feel like I'm gonna reverse jinx myself, and she actually won't cancel because I'm afraid she will cancel. Every day, I check. because that is my luck that she will cancel.
Well, let's hope she doesn't.
That's definitely hope she doesn't. Now, back to the match. So the War Raiders versus I was looking at the wrong part of the notes. It was the War Raiders versus the Street Profits. And this match started out with a bang, right? The War Raiders are making their entrance. Montez Ford does a crazy flip that is off camera onto the War Raiders. Now, here's the question that was posed in our Patreon chat from our boy Jermaine. Now, they really wanted to know what your thoughts were, even though Brett was trying to tell him, listen, we already know what MJ's answer is. Was the Montez Ford flip better than Ricochet's flip when he was cutting that promo against Velveteen?
I'm sorry, but Ricochet's was better.
Listen, and I hate to agree with her, but Ricochet's was better. It's the pure shock of seeing somebody do a running flip. You know what's funny? I have one at my dad's house, which my dad's like out selling his house, and I have some old stuff there before I moved out, and I have the picture of Ricochet just like that, but he has hair in it. Not long hair, but he has like hair, which is pretty funny. I gotta get it so I can show it to you.
Yeah, you do.
So, because I met him when he was in Lucha, and he signed a Prince Puma mask for me. Cool guy.
Interesting fact.
So now, listen, it's the pure shock. Why his flip is better. It's the pure shock that he did a front flip and landed on his feet. I've never seen somebody do that before, which was
Yeah.
And listen, you saw how that crowd popped, okay? The Montez Ford did an incredible flip, but it wasn't better than Ricochet's. Now, onto that match. No. That match was a ton of fun. That match was so much fun to watch because it was action-packed. And the Street Profits were wrestling very aggressive, which I think is really awesome. And it reminds us, seeing the War Raiders in NXT, what me and MJ have been saying, which is, especially MJ, which is they should have stayed in NXT a little longer to build this division. And, what I was saying is the War Raiders were just starting to get hot. They're starting to get to like this upper echelon of talent in NXT. And then you just rip them out. And now they're feuding with Hawkins and Ryder for no reason. And then instead of anybody talking about their in-ring ability, all they're talking about is their names or their gimmick. Like, oh, these Viking weirdos, whatever.
Yeah.
It's so stupid because they're such great wrestlers. And they finally figured out a way to do their style that they did on the indies in a WWE ring with the WWE style. They finally got it over and got, casuals and everybody, even me, interested in what they were doing. And then you take them away and you put them on the main roster. And I don't know. I think their name is going to be the death of them, to be honest with you. I don't know if they can ever. I know people were tweeting like, hey, if you're good enough, you can wrestle beyond the name. But I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. But I hope for the best.
The thing is, like with the casual fans of the main roster, when you start out with this whole like name debacle that they had, like that just like puts a bad taste in their mouth, right? Like they're not going to pay attention to your wrestling after that. They're going to pay attention to your name. And what's unfortunate is that those kind of fans are not going to give them a chance. So, right off the bat, they're going to be like, oh, well, they're not even important enough to have a consistent name. So why should I care about them? So that's what's unfortunate. And I think they should have kept him on NXT. And then maybe, I don't know, like right now it's weird that on Monday nights, like they should have thought about this. Monday nights, they're one name, and Wednesday nights, they're another name. Like, I don't know what they were thinking, but I wish they stayed longer. Like a longer feud between them and the Street Profits, I think would be really great because their wrestling styles work so well in the ring together, and their match was so much fun tonight. And like I say it all the time, like I love tag team wrestling when it's done right, and I think that these guys together do it right.
100% agree. Now, the War Raiders end up getting the victory here, which honestly, I read the spoilers, so I knew it. But even going into it, you would hope that, and I think this is where, the way I should say this is where having NXT tape 4 weeks in advance sometimes hurts it. And this was one of those weeks. It's not only about the name. They were still called the War Raiders, and they had the graphic that said War Raiders, but they're on the main roster now. So, like, they have to lose those titles eventually. And you have them defending it in NXT, but them being on Raw without them, and they're different names. It's just too much confusion, right? I think that probably during the next tapings, hopefully during the next set of tapings, because there isn't a NXT event, a takeover for the Money in the Bank weekend, which I think is a mistake. They should have had Money in the Bank later in the year, but whatever. they have to lose those belts because and there's really like Undisputed Era, the Street Profits, Lorcan and Burch, I guess, is still there for now, and the Forgotten Sons. The tag division is very, very weak right now. Give it to the Street Profits. Let them at least have fun with it while you build up and sign some new tag teams and stuff like that. Maybe put some 2 singles guys together and see what you can get. But I don't know. It's gonna be rough. War Raiders get the victory, but it is what it is. It was still a great match. Now, the main event. So we had before the main event, the one thing I want to talk to you about. How did you like that backstage segment with Adam Cole and Matt Riddle? Because I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, I loved it. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be Riddle when he was like, "What are you smiling at?" It was like, who the hell is he talking to?
I thought it was going to be like a random, like, you know when they have like random people that work for the company, like a stage guy or whatever, and he's like, "Shut up, stupid asshole," or "You stupid Mark," and then they walk away or something. It was cool that it was Riddle kind of teasing a feud between them. Maybe teasing a triple threat feud. That'd be great. Any way to get the belt on Riddle by any means necessary, because we love Matt Riddle here, and Matt Riddle is the man. And listen, Matt Riddle versus Adam Cole would be an incredible match because we saw what Adam Cole and Gargano were able to do. I can only imagine what Adam Cole and Riddle can do.
I think it would be because Riddle would finally have somebody that's kind of more up to par, I think, with him in wrestling. So I think that would make it all the better. Like, you can't get upset and say, well, the other guy sucked at wrestling, like, some money down. But with these two in the ring together.
Was that me? Was that a shot at me? Because I think that was a shot at me. I'm pretty sure that was a shot at me, and I don't appreciate it. Okay, I don't appreciate it one bit. This is this bullying thing. Okay, be a star, MJ. Be a star. Okay.
Okay.
You're bullying me. You're cheating on Bella Brains. I don't like any of this.
I'm not cheating. I'm just smarter than you.
Nope. No proof. Numbers lie. Okay. Don't forget about what Jay-Z says.
We need to do like
a live special... Bella Brains.
Yeah, like me. Someone like asking us the questions.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Frankie do it.
Yeah, we could have Frankie do it, and then you'll see me fail on live video. So there it is. So now we go into the main event, which was Roddy Strong versus Gargano, and I think this match delivered. It was an incredible main event, and it was exactly what we thought it was going to be. A hard-hitting match. Roddy bringing it to Johnny, and then Johnny finding some way to win. Of course, there was the Adam Cole Riddle distraction, which is further pushing the possibility of this being a triple threat feud or something like that, which I think is really fun. But what'd you think of the main event?
I mean, it was a great match. I knew it was going to be a great match. My favorite part was the ending, though, when, there was more chaos and Riddle came out and all that. I thought that was fun. I was a little annoyed, though, that it was like one simple punch and Matt Riddle was all of a sudden knocked out for the rest of the time. But whatever.
Wrestling, pro wrestling.
Yeah,
okay? Wrestling.
Okay.
Wrestling. That's how it works, man. Even though Matt Riddle is like the size of, even though Adam Cole is the size of Matt Riddle's leg. One leg, so he knocks him out with a punch. Hey, that's how you book things, okay? To make everybody seem like there are, MJ's yawning. She's distracting me. She's gonna make me start yawning.
Sorry.
You were yawning during Matt Riddle. How dare you? Okay, you should have yawned when we were talking about the Forgotten Sons.
I'm just tired.
See? Now she's bullying Matt Riddle. Bullying me. Now she's bullying Matt Riddle. That's stallion.
You try going to a baseball practice with a whole bunch of 4-year-olds that aren't paying attention.
Okay? You try delivering a package to a person and them going,
is that $1 million?
Is this my million? Yo, literally, the dude said it to me. He goes, "Oh, is this my $1 million?" And I thought about what I posted on my Instagram story, and I thought about all you guys laughing. And I tried really hard not to laugh. And then I give him the box, and he says it again. He's like, "You never know. It could be my $1 million." And I was like, "Yeah, it might be." And then this other guy was like, came up from another room, right? And he goes, "Oh, wait, who's getting $1 million?" And I was like, "Oh my God, this joke's never ending. This is the worst, bro." And the guy's like, No, but like, I understand, like, it's not $1 million, but like, what if like somebody switches the boxes and switches the labels, and like we get $1 million? Like, what would they're having this whole conversation? And I'm like, can I get your last name, please? Thank you. Just run out of there.
That's like right up there with like retail when something doesn't scan and like, oh, it must be free. Like, listen, that is the most like played out joke.
The worst thing I've ever heard. Of course, Brittany works at a bank. She says that ever so often couple times a week, people come into the bank and go, "Hey, you guys giving out free samples?" I would throw the fucking money at them. Like, get the hell out of here, bro. Throw like a quarter at them. Yeah, like, this is shit that you have to deal with when you work at a bank. But another fantastic episode of NXT this week. Now,
wait, can I tell you a funny story?
Go ahead.
It's about work. Okay,
go ahead.
So I had a patient call the other day. She wanted, she was a new patient. She wanted to come in her office. In the middle of talking to her, all of a sudden I hear her yelling. And she's like, "Did you just hit my car?" And then another lady starts talking. She's like, "You just hit my car." And so I had to listen to them argue.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
And the lady was like, "Stop doing that. Stop hitting my car." And I'm like, wait, is this person like doing it on purpose now? Like, what is going on?
Is she like punching it? Like, what the hell's going on?
She hit the car with her door. Oh. And then, so I'm assuming, like, did she like keep going like that and start hitting the car? And I don't know what happened. And I'm like, I was like waiting for a moment because I was like kind of enjoying it. But then I was like, do you want to call me back? And then she was like, yeah. And then I heard more arguing, and then I had to hang up.
Oh, that's great. Oh my God. That's so
amazing.
Great. So I have a story similar to that.
Early in the morning.
Oh, that's a great way to start your morning. So I have a story similar to that. Now, in the days of playing Xbox 360, right, and playing on Xbox Live, we were playing with a squeaker, which for people who don't play games, a squeaker is a little kid who plays games and screams when he's like, "Oh my God," and it's crazy. Like, think of like Call of Duty, like the stereotypical little kid playing Call of Duty, cursing you, telling you to go fuck your mother. Those are squeakers, right? With very high pitched voice. So he's like yelling at me and my friends, like just being an asshole, like whatever you guys, and like because we're like whooping his ass, right? This is back when I was like actually good at video games. Not now. They're too advanced for me. I'm too old. And when we were winning, and he's like, "Oh fuck you guys, this and this. You guys suck. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be better." And then we hear from the other room like, "You better get off that. You better get off that Xbox." "No, Mom, no, well, I'm almost done." And she was like, "No, I'm turning it off right now. No, Mom, no." You hear them going back and forth, and then all of a sudden it's like, so-and-so has left the party. She's like, "I'm going to turn your Xbox off." And then like we see leaves the party, and we were like, "Damn, bro, she pulled the plug on him." We were crying, laughing. We were sending him messages like, your mom told you to go to bed, you fucking little kid." I miss those days, being in high school playing. Yeah, I know, we're making fun of a little kid. That's how it was when I was in high school. Now, after this great NXT episode, we definitely do want to touch on NXT UK. Now, the matches were subpar. The main event was pretty good. But the one thing that I do want to talk about beyond the matches and stuff, and I definitely want to pose this question to you because we have talked about it in the past. But, with this new format that, we heard everybody who's watching and listening is loving. We thank you guys for kind of, going along this ride with us while we kind of change and try some new things out. So I definitely wanted, with this new free format, we're able to kind of talk about it more. Do you think that NXT UK should stop doing tapings outside of the UK?
100%. I think NXT UK, anytime they do like an access show, their show completely suffers, and I don't want to watch it.
It's the truth. It's so Cassius Ohno and Ligero start off the night, and I thought they had a really good match, and they told a really great story of, Ligero being this underdog character and Cassius Ohno being the vet who's like super arrogant and super cocky and like showing off. And then Ligero's able to mount a comeback, and the only way that Ohno beats him is because, of course, Ligero wears a mask. So Ohno does the whole, "I'm going to try to take your mask off" trick, which distracts the rookie, which is Ligero in this situation. And then he hits him with a brutal finisher, right? And then that's it. And then it's over, and Ohno wins. And the crowd did not care. The crowd was not getting hyped for Ligero. And listen, I understand during Worlds Collide, which is airing on Wednesday, I got to see Bianca versus Nikki Cross versus Toni Storm. So I got to see that match live. And as that match was going on, even though people were kind of hyped for that match, people were still getting up and walking out because it's still an access session, right? So maybe you have a VIP signing to go to, or maybe you're done watching NXT and now you want to go try to meet some more wrestlers or buy some merch or whatever, go to the Hall of Fame thing. So people aren't really getting super hype, and they could really not care about this match, which sucked for Ligero because I think that if they had this match in the UK, it would have made him seem like a bigger deal, to people watching on TV. It was just a struggle to watch, man. And then you think of like, did you see the Toni Storm part?
Yeah, but I didn't really pay attention to
She
it.
came out, she cut like a 1 minute promo and then walks out, and then Kaylee Ray interrupts her, and you're like, that was it. And the crowd like got hype for Tony Storm, like when she was like, yeah, we're in New York, and people would cheer. But like other than that, it's like people didn't
Yeah.
really know who she was, which sucks because like she's a champion and she's a big deal in the UK, and people would have went nuts for her if she was there. So like, I don't know. I'm under the the side. I'm on the side of like, don't do any more tapings outside of the UK. I understand you're trying to get these wrestlers exposure, but to me,
Yeah.
it's not working. It's making them look like nobody cares.
Yeah. I think if they want, like, I think it's a great idea to showcase them at Access, but to use Access as like a way to record episodes,
No.
like do tapings for it, like I just think that's the total like wrong way to go, because then like, okay, so if someone's at Access and they see this match and they're like, oh well, since I saw it live, maybe I'll see how it is on, I'll watch NXT UK, and then they watch it and it's in front of the Access crowd and it's like dead and nobody cares, and it's quite like, that's gonna change how they feel about watching NXT UK. Like they're not gonna like get the feel of the way the crowd normally is, so they're gonna be like, oh well, this is kind of boring right now, and then they'll change it. So
To like kind of expand on that, look at it like, all right, so let's say I only watch the main roster, right? And I go to Access, and like you said, I watch the NXT matches, I watch the cruiserweights, I watch the NXT UK crowd, the matches or whatever. And then I'm like, oh wow, I really like so and so. I want to check them out. Maybe you saw a Casey Catanzaro match, and you were like, oh, she's on NXT tonight. Awesome. And you see how that Full Sail crowd reacts to Casey, how they react to the match that she's in. You're like, oh, okay, this is really cool. Maybe I'll keep watching. Now,
yeah.
the same thing, like you said, oh, I saw Ono versus Ligero, and it was a great match. I really enjoyed it. Oh, let me go back and watch it. And then you're like, oh, that crowd didn't care. Maybe they weren't as loud as I thought they were, or whatever. And then like you're not gonna keep watching NXT UK. And I understand that on the totem pole right now, NXT UK is the lowest. But like it's still a brand, it's still a big deal in the UK. You're still using it as a way to build up superstars for the
Yeah.
future, especially someone like a Tony Storm. Maybe Ligero they're not going to use, but like Tony Storm's definitely going to get used. She's super young, she has a ton of potential, and she's already super talented, and she's a champion, and nobody cared when she came out, and that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a pretty good episode of NXT UK. I'm definitely really happy that we're watching it again, especially getting to see Mustache Mountain. They're just awesome. I love them so much. Um, Now, after all this, okay, this week, hopefully you pick a better match. Okay, what is your favorite match of the week?
Okay, so I told you earlier, but I'm going to say it. My favorite was the War Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
War versus the Street Profit.
Okay. That's a strong pick. It was gonna be my pick, but she bullied me into changing my answer. Right? Backstage politics. How dare you? Okay, how dare you? And you're getting what you want, and you're not even blonde. Pro Wrestling Fan 101 dictates that only blondes get what they want. Am I blonde? Am I secretly blonde?
What is the first word in my nickname? Queen.
I was gonna say your shoot name. I was gonna say the joke that I always say to you, but I can't say it on air.
You're the worst.
Now, so because you picked that match, I will pick something different. I'm going Johnny Gargano versus Roddy Strong. I thought that match was a great match. It was incredible, and we both picked NXT matches. Okay, we both picked NXT matches.
Closer this time.
It will be closer, right? Us. So let's see. If I win again, man, it's gonna be a good time next week. It's going to be a great time.
I'll beat you in Bella Reigns again next week.
Listen,
Nikki won. Are they gonna do it again?
Yeah, they keep doing it. I think they do it. They'll bet something else.
Okay.
Because it was like first to 5, and then Nikki won 5-0, which is what I love about the Bella Twins. They just break down rumors, and they break down all the stuff that we think about them. Because you look at them, you see how they act, and you're like, oh, clearly Nikki's a dumber one. No, not at all. It is Brie. The stuff that Brie doesn't know. It's funny. So like they're not like dumb, okay? They don't know like. I don't know these things either.
Book smart,
but it's the way that they answer the questions. Like on a past episode, and we've said it on this show, but it's like Daniel Bryan's like, who gave the Statue of Liberty to the United States? And without hesitation, Brie goes, the Chinese, which is, listen, okay? Even if you didn't know it was the French, it's definitely not the Chinese. Like, I don't understand. Like, and she said it with so much like, no, I know I'm right. It's the Chinese. Like, it's so funny. It's just like me when last week, right? We talk about people being dumb. When Daniel Bryan's like, how many species are in the world? And I'm like, 50. Meanwhile, it's over 5 million because I'm an idiot. And there's stuff we can laugh at because it's super funny. Plus, I love the Bellas podcast. They're very sexual. Nikki is extremely sexual, and I'm all here for it.
Of course.
Yeah, 5 minutes into the episode, the things she's talking about, you're like, all right, it's going to be a good episode.
Jeez. Well, she was talking about Artem. I'm okay with that. I love Artem.
Listen, she was talking about, I ain't even going to repeat it. Now, so that brings us to the end of our episode. Now, there's a little teaser we want to give you guys. So, of course, patreon.com/whogotnext. If you sign up right now at the $5 level, you get a very special show that we are doing now with the superstar shakeup going on, with the NFL draft coming up. Okay, the end of the NBA season, we're gonna get the NBA draft. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of drafting, a lot of shakeups. We thought, hey, let's join in on the fun. Me and MJ on our Patreon show, our after show, are gonna play a very special game where we book or we draft what we think would be our perfect version of a show. Now, here are the rules. Any brand, any of the 4 brands. So that's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and NXT UK. Now, you get 12 male wrestlers, and the way I broke it up in my head, right? 6 main eventers, 6 mid-carders, but of course it doesn't matter, it's just 12 male wrestlers, right? You get, what did I say, 12 women wrestlers? Let's make it 10. 10 women wrestlers.
Why aren't we equal?
All right, you're right. I'm sorry. So we get, let's make it, just to make it easier, 12 men wrestlers, 12 women wrestlers, and then, of course, 4 tag teams each. Right? As MJ just drops everything. So 4 tag teams each. Now, it's who we pick, right? And it's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys want to stay tuned for that. Join for the Patreons. We'll get to vote on whoever has the better show. Then next week's show, we'll
keeping track of it.
Well, they'll just vote in the Patreon chat, and then we'll keep track when I win, because I know I'm going to win, okay? Because I've mentally been doing it all day, right? And what's fun about it is we're not just writing it down and then reading it to each other. We're going to go round by round, so we're going to take each other's picks, right? I know MJ's going to be ruthless and probably immediately try to take my picks, because that's the type of person that she is, and I don't appreciate it. Don't make that face like it's a lie, because you know it's true. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Patreons get it. And on next week's show, we will tell you guys who are listening and watching on YouTube what the results were. And maybe we'll even read our teams. We'll see. You'll see what the week brings us. Listen, as you're listening to this episode, we are now in a world where Avengers Endgame is out. As we were recording this on Wednesday night, it is a beautiful thing to know that I am one more sleep away from Avengers Endgame. MJ is a few sleeps away. It is going to be a great weekend. We have Avengers Endgame on Thursday, and we have Game of Thrones, The Battle of Winterfell.
Oh, I'm not ready for that one.
On Sunday. It is a great time to be a nerd. It is a great time to be a wrestling fan. Before we sign off, MJ, tell these people where they can find you on Twitter.
MJ_Santi with 2 eyes. And if you're too dumb to understand some of my tweets, don't follow me, because the people today, they're twisting what I said. I said that, like, I wish that people could, like, just let others have their own opinion. And then there's, of course, the few dumbasses that are over there, and they're like, oh, well, isn't that doing the same thing? You're telling people what to do. And it's like, no, you idiot. You just didn't understand my tweet. Not my problem that you don't have brains.
So my favorite part about that was, one, we got to all see on camera, because it's on YouTube, and on audio for people listening on podcast platforms, the New York and MJ come out. You saw the hand movement. She was like, and listen, okay? And listen. It kind of scared the shit out of me. All right, so we got to see that, 1. And 2, I keep saying this to you, welcome to being on wrestling Twitter for real now, okay? Your first couple of years, it was all sunshine and rainbows. You get a podcast, you get some followers, and people come to attack you.
They're
Because
just
remember,
so dumb.
you always forget, okay? You always forget that you are, in fact, what wrestling Twitter deems as the worst type of wrestling fan, and that is, of course, a woman, which is unfair, but it's the truth. It is the truth.
Yeah.
Because I say the same things, and I don't even get half of the shit you get.
Yeah.
You can tweet anything. You could be like, wow, really like that Finn Balor match. And they're like, of course you did, because you're fucking like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, maybe
or
she's
like,
like,
oh my god, it was terrible. Like, how
it
dare
was
you
terrible.
like
You're
it?
only just looking at his abs. And it's like, listen,
I'm like,
first
yeah,
of
I
all, I'm a
am.
guy and I'm also looking at his abs, okay?
They're
nice.
beautiful. Why
They're
not
beautiful
look
to
at
look
that?
at. It's
Like,
it's a
I
struggle
just,
out here in these streets, man. All right, I had Sasha fans in my mentions all day.
oh my god, I'm sure you did, but I just want to let you know that I fully enjoyed all
Thank
of
you.
your
Thank you.
tweets.
Thank you.
It
It is a
was
good time.
amazing.
It is a great time to hate Sasha Banks on Twitter right now. It is a great time. There's so much great content and material. Shout out Josh Lopez from the Hoots podcast.
He
He had
joined
some.
in on you.
It is
Yeah,
it
he
is
had
it
a
is
good
so
one.
great, man. We have so much fun just trashing Sasha. Okay, we understand she's very talented, but she's a crybaby, and we're just gonna pile on. We're gonna pile on while she sits out for these few years, waiting for her contract to end, so she can go wrestle for the WCW Television Championship on the Indies. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you later, alligator. Bye.
Bye.